Hi, my name is Taria Hodge, and I am the host of Social Media Saturdays. And welcome to the 30-day prospecting challenge, how to jumpstart your evergreen prospecting system using Facebook ads. So we are at week 1 of our challenge. And this week, we're going to focus on creating your optimized Facebook campaign. So the learning objective for this week is to create a strong, unique, optimized Facebook campaign. Now, one of the huge benefits of working on Facebook, especially if you're talking about Facebook ads, into your sales campaign is that you start by creating visibility. When people who you don't know see your post, they become familiar with you. If they see your post because one of their friends shared it, you have added reinforcement of recommendation and endorsement. Now, if they see a sponsored post or ad, the subliminal message is that you can afford to advertise, that you're a professional. And if your ad is super effective, then that translates into that you are a success. So you have this positive association and exposure going on in your ideal client's mind before you even try to make a sales pitch. Today we're going to discuss 3 steps, okay, your optimized Facebook campaign. So let's just go right ahead and start with step number 1. So step number 1 is to reach and exactly what is it that they need from you. But before we get into that, understand visibility is only the first step. You want to connect with you want him or her to like what they follow, they like your page, or they send you a friend request. You want interaction and engagement from them. You want them to be able to comment on your post. You also want them to be able to get involved with you and become part of your community. Yet a connection that fits into your community like a proverbial glove, one that and helps you grow that community. So the question becomes, where do you start? There are 3 actions you need to take before even beginning to think about Facebook advertising. Once you've committed you're building a Facebook optimized campaign, you need to make sure the Facebook account is set up in such a way that it will client demographic to you like a magnet. So the first step or the first action that you want to take in order to make this happen, you always want to talk directly to your ideal client when you post. I always like to say when you write your post or you engage on social media, have your ideal client in mind. So when they read your post, they're able to see themselves in your marketing message. The second action that you need to take is to create a Facebook page if you haven't done so already. So this is one of the things that I talk about all the time. I see a lot of business owners that use their personal Facebook page and they masquerade it as a business page. Now, a little later on, I'm going to talk about exactly why you need to have a Facebook business page, an official business page, and the benefits of doing that, okay? And then third, you want to create a custom tab or a call to action tab for your Facebook page. Now, creating a custom tab automatically creates engagement. You can set your tab to perform the task that you think is most useful and relevant for your ideal client and your goals as well. So good tabs start with sign up for your email list. So if you have a newsletter, this is a great way for you to promote your newsletter by using the call to action button on your Facebook business page, or you'll create a custom tab. You could have your ideal clients visit your landing page or your squeeze page. So you might have a product or a service that you offer, and you have a sales page or a squeeze page that's set up, that's specifically designed for that particular product. Or it might even be an evergreen webinar that you're doing. You could also create a call to action button or use a custom tab. Or you could also create a custom tab to have your ideal clients like your business page. Now, I know you've noticed that I'm talking or flipping back and forth between the call to action button on Facebook and the custom tab. So I'll explain the difference between the two. So in Facebook, I think recently within the past 6 months or so, Facebook has created a way for you to create what you call a call to action button. Now with that call to action button, once again, you could simply use that to drive traffic or position yourself so when people visit your Facebook business page, they're able to connect and sign up for your newsletter if you're offering a newsletter, or if you're doing an evergreen event, sign up for the evergreen event, or it might even be a free gift, a download, a free report that you're offering. You could set up your call to action button to do that. Now, here's another little secret that's inside Facebook. There's an application, an app that's called WooBox. So WooBox is my little secret, okay? Now, I absolutely love WooBox because it allows you to create multiple Facebook tabs, multiple Facebook page tabs. With the call to action button on Facebook, you could only have one call to action, but if you actually use the app WooBox, you could create action tabs. So you could once again have a tab for a free gift that you're offering. You could also have a tab that will direct people if you're doing or evergreen event. They could go directly to the evergreen event. This is just some of the ways that I use my Facebook tabs I'm sharing with you. Or you could use your Facebook tab to direct people to other social media sites that you're on. So if you're also on Twitter and you're building your following on Twitter, you could create a custom page tab to drive them to Twitter or drive them to Pinterest or even drive them over to your Instagram page, okay? But most effective, you want to use these custom tabs to provide a way for people to get more information from you. And once they get to those pages, your squeeze pages or your landing pages, they're able to register for your particular products or service, even if it's a newsletter. So that's just my little tip for the day. If you have not set up your call to action on your Facebook page, or you have not started using Facebook page tabs, you want to start. Okay? So now let's talk about who exactly is your ideal client. How do you find your ideal visitor? Your ideal visitor is one dream about out of thin air and decided, okay, that's not very realistic. When you think about your ideal client, you know, you don't want to always think about your ultimate satisfaction. What you're shifting your thinking should, what is it that my ideal client want from me? Okay, what is it that I could provide that will help my ideal client? So let's start by asking yourself a few questions. The first question you should start is asking, who engages with you the most on social media? Who consistently seem to see your post? And judging by the number of likes they give you, and who actually engages on your post by commenting or even sharing your post. Now, do you also have an autoresponder and sign up buttons or boxes? If not, then you need to create one. So if you're not familiar with autoresponder services, here are some recommendations that I can make for you. You could use services such as Aweber, even MailChimp, even GetResponse. And if you're not familiar with how autoresponder services work, this is something that you can outsource to a virtual assistant, okay? Someone who has experience with that particular autoresponder service, and they could set that list up for you. Another great way to take a look at who engages with you on the most on social media, think about or start to pay attention to people who have given you testimonials, either online or offline. For example, maybe they have sent you an email, or they may have sent you a private message on Facebook, okay? Take a look at the people who always ask for your help. Who is your best client? What is it that they like about you? Now, if you don't know, a great way to find out is for you to take a survey, okay? Include a survey at the end of your product or at the end of your next webinar or session that you do. This is another great way that you could use WooBox. Remember, I talked about WooBox and how wonderful it is. WooBox also allows you to create polls or surveys, okay? So you could actually create a custom tab on your Facebook page that will take a survey or take a poll of your visitors, and that will give you an insight of who your ideal clients are, people who are engaging with you the most on social media. Also, you want to take a look at your LinkedIn endorsements. So if you are on LinkedIn, take a look at the people who are endorsing you and take a look at the skills that they're endorsing you for the most. Okay? All through your process of determining your ideal client, you should be concentrating on what they want. That is a way for those for those who have big needs that only you can fulfill, or better yet, you could fulfill better than your competitor. So that brings us to the next point. What is your edge? I love how Cynthia Sly puts it. Cynthia Sly always asks the question, what is your it factor? Okay, what is the one benefit, the one key advantage that your product or your coaching service bestows that your competitors or can't provide? What can you do for your clients better than anybody else? What are you best known for? So those are the questions, okay, that you need to be asking yourself. Now, later on in this challenge, we're going to find out definitive answers through Facebook advertising and Facebook analytics. But right now, it's important for you to make a sincere effort to decide on, number one, who you want to reach, and number two, right now. Get started on the right foot, or for some of you, we could just get started. Okay, so this brings us to another question. So I have three powerful questions that we're asking. And the third powerful question we're going to ask is, where does most of your traffic come from? So when you traffic, because of retargeting, which we'll cover in week number 4, you can keep on reaching initial viewers, even though they haven't taken a particular action on your initial. Talk about that a little bit later on, how you could continue to position yourself in front of your ideal clients until they take a particular action. Now, when you do create what we call that persona, ideal customer or client, don't make a composite. And what I mean by that is, don't take the characteristics of one client and add different characteristics of 5 more. That's just not a realistic picture of who your ideal client is. Okay, and this is where we start talking about Facebook's tracking and Facebook analytics. And I'm going to just go back and reiterate, this is why it's important for you to have a professional Facebook business page, not a personal page with your business information on it, but an actual official Facebook business page. So once you create your Facebook business page and your business page has more than 50 likes, you'll be able to access your Facebook insights. You'll have access to your ads manager and also the Power Editor. And that's a quick way for you to find out your best, most interactive and viewed post, and B, who the people are who are engaging with those posts. Okay, now this is just not limited to Facebook and Facebook's insights or Facebook analytics. You can also use external sources. Facebook isn't the only platforms. If you're using a service like Lead Pages also has their own built-in tracking ability as well, which will allow you to see the data and what you need to identify who your ideal clients are, or who your ideal client is. Okay, so in order to find out who our ideal client is, what we have to do is start by defining your broad demographic. And once you define your broad demographic, you could always narrow it down from there. And you could use, like I said, Facebook Insights to do that. Lead Pages allows you to do that. I'm also going to share with you 2 other sources that would allow you to track your broad demographic. You could either use Alexa.com or Quantcast.com. So once again, that's Alexa, Alexa.com, or you could use Quantcast, Quantcast.com. And you could create a free account on both of these services. So an easy way for you to get a picture of who your ideal client is, you want to look up your closest competitor stats and compare their site and similar sites to your site. Okay, so take a look at who the people who are engaging competitors. And if you do that and you enter those sites into a service like Alexa or Quantcast, and you scroll down on both sites, take a look at the links, and then you'll get access to the demographics, the demographic data, such as gender. So you want to know if your ideal client is either male or female. And this helps when you're crafting your, okay, not just your words, but also the images that you use on social media. You want your ideal client to see themselves in your marketing. Now, whether they're male, whether they're female, okay, what is the age range? If income level is something that you need to know, you could input that information into your demographics, educational background, things like is the home, do they have children? Okay, is that a demographic of your ideal client? Okay, what are their likes, what are their dislikes, and so forth. So you can really have some fun when you start taking a look at the demographic of your ideal clients. Also, pay attention to the keywords that people use when they search. That's also huge because it would give you an idea of what they're looking for. So when you craft and you create your marketing message, you could use similar keywords so your information will also be able to be found as well. Nowadays, with both sites, Alexa and Quantcast, you have to upgrade to the premium account to see detailed data, but you could learn a lot from the free trial. So have no fear if you're not able to use the upgraded service. You could start out with the free trial, or you could also browse popular sites and noting the ones that are similar to yours. Okay? But no matter what type of client you attract or want to attract, make sure you aim your marketing towards people who action and people who are committed to change. I can't say this enough because this is just not an exercise in futility. We're not doing this just because we want to. We want to aim our marketing on people who are willing to take action, people who are committed to change. Those are the ones that hate you and pay you for the work that you do. And in turn, what that will do for you, their success will also energize you. Okay, now let's take a look at step number 2, planning and creating a focused funnel with the perfect flow. Okay, to create a campaign with a perfect flow, you have to create a balanced campaign. Don't focus too much on any one part or source of traffic. But once you have determined which components you'll include, make sure they all carry equal or complementary weight and support each other with perfect integration. Focusing on only one area, even Facebook ads, leads to an uneven sales campaign, which can cause what we call bottlenecking, where people don't flow easily through your campaign and they become hung up or they become stuck or jammed at sticking points where the next step for them isn't clear. The demographics and research you did to determine who your best clients are also the sources you need to include in your integrated, complete sales campaign. Don't decide that you're going to do it all with Facebook. If there are other platforms where you have a huge presence, make sure that you include those other platforms as well. Make sure that you have a complete campaign with all your best traffic sources and interaction, attracting people and pulling them into your campaign. Then you do your best to balance that activity and lead generation using all these attraction sources. So now let's just take a quick minute to take a look at some of the traffic sources that you could include in your sales campaign. So you may want to take a look at search engine optimization. Then there are your Facebook posts. You have your email list. We have a lot of wonderful writers out there that are consistent with their blogs. So if you writing blog posts on a weekly basis, monthly basis, this is another great traffic source for you. Also, we're talking about Facebook ads. Facebook ads could become one of the best traffic sources. I absolutely love Facebook ads, but it doesn't always stop there. You could use other social media sources like Twitter. Okay, most of you have a huge following on Twitter. Twitter now also allows you to do ads as well. Facebook groups, this is another great traffic source. Your Facebook group, your people who are in your group, they have already raised their hand and say that they're interested in what you have to offer. They are part of your community. So this is another great way for you to nurture them and include them as part of your traffic sources. Landing pages or your sales pages, your squeeze pages, that's also another wonderful traffic source for you as well. So even with Facebook ads, you will have more than one source of traffic leading to your landing pages or your sales pages, moving those who subscribe onto the relationship development and bonding stage of your campaign. Okay, now, when you integrate social media advertising, particularly Facebook, you will be spending more time at the beginning part of your campaign, which is the attraction phase, getting maximum reach and building solid relationships. Now, I can't say this enough. This is a strategy that's destined for long-term growth rather than just making a quick dollar or making a quick buck. So now let's take a look and compare the old funnel from yesterday to the modern day Facebook campaign, where you're working on your audience and you're building a relationship for long-term retention rather than them moving on. So in the funnel, this is why we teach people that funnels are not the best thing in your business. They're not really good, because when you have a funnel has a wide mouth and it collects people and attracts people in its attraction phase, but as you see, it funnels down to some of the people and then even fewer of those people generating recurring income for you. And at some point, those people just fall out. Okay, there's no way for you to bring them back into your ecosystem. But if you use Facebook-driven campaign, you'll see a huge difference. First, you have the attraction phase where you do want to attract people, but then you have the development and relationship building phase. And this is what it's all about. Once you start to develop and build that relationship, your conversions become easier. And then once you have solved the need, you have solved the problem for your ideal client, it becomes easier for them to share your information with their friends or their network, which in turn brings more people into your campaign. So the difference is that you can keep retargeting people who ignore your first offer or your first Facebook ad until they actually progress through the next stage of your campaign. Okay, so, and you do that by using your Facebook ad pixels, and those ad pixels will tell your ad that those ideal clients or those potential clients have moved on, and you could present a different ad to them if you have them set up later on in your campaign. So the key here is by using retargeting, which we're going to talk about more in week number 4, you could keep repositioning yourself in front of those ideal clients until they convert. So coaches in particular practice relationship-based marketing. So the development and relationship building is a crucial stage, best padded with great resources, tips, posts, engagement, and help. These things that you want to provide to your ideal client that will aid and assist you in your conversion. Best time and good resources and great content, and conversion becomes easy. It processes naturally to sharing with a little help from a share button. Sometimes, you just have to process along, but it becomes easier when you embed share buttons into your landing pages or into your ad. But all the strategy in the world will help you if you don't have a strong enough incentive. And this is what I like to call your irresistible free offer. What you need to have or what you need to develop is your perfect sign-up gift. Something that makes your ideal client just rush, scramble to give you their information, which is their name and email address. Okay, so now let's move on to step number 3, which is your complete campaign plan. If you don't have Facebook Insights activated on your Facebook page, you can get more likes quickly by boosting your post or boosting your page. You can do this for as little as $5 for 2 days. Okay, remember, like I said, this is one of the huge benefits of creating an official business page for your Facebook. So even if you don't have a page and you create your page today, you could run a boosted ad for as little as $5 for 2 days to get you over the 50 likes mark. Once you get over 50 likes, you will have access to Facebook Insights. You will have access to the Power Editor as well as the Ads Manager. Okay, now